Hi all, welcome to my deck profile. I finally reached a place where I feel like I'm comfortable saying that it's 99% complete. There's definitely some cards that would definitely make this 100%, but those cards would take time and resources I don't have right now to make that happen. But nonetheless, I am very happy with where the deck is now. I don't think I'll be changing it for a long time or until I have to maybe part ways with it. A lot of people went into helping making this deck happen. I'll be giving out shout outs as I go through the deck. I know where every single card came from, who I got it from, etc. So without further ado, start off with first 3 Asian English Siroccos. I was fortunate enough to find these the day of RBT Indy, the morning of. As I arrived, I met with Brandon Riger. We were talking about Siroccos. I was like, dude, it's so hard to find Euro ones. He's like, there's this guy who has AE ones here. I'm like, okay, so I go over. Huge shout out to both Brandon Riger and Paul Hobbs. Paul had the set, and I picked those up off of him, which I felt was like really lucky because I ended up going 8-0 that day. To all my friends, yes, I had to bring up the 8-0, but that was a fantastic day for me just overall. Next up, I have 3 Asian English Blizzards. Again, huge shout out to Paul Hobbs and Brandon Riger for these. Next up, on the same list, I think this is the last of my Asian English cards in the main deck. 3 Kalutes as well. There's a lot of backstory on Asian English. There are some that do not consider them max rarity. Wink wink, I know who's gonna respond to this, but yeah, so these are the only Asian English. They're very cool to me. They're also TCG legal for those that have anything against that, but yeah, so those are big 3 for me. Next up, huge shout out to Daehan, aka EC, Eric Choi. 3 Euro Super Shuras, along with 3 Duelist League Boras. These are EU. Daehan gave me these because he wanted the NA ones because to my new knowledge is there's different text box sizing and just basically card layout, which is the reason why he chose to part ways with the Euro ones and keep the NA ones so that his deck is completely uniform. 1 Euro Super Gale. I really like the coloring on this card. I do have the AE one and I have a Euro rare one as well, but I do prefer this one just in terms of coloring, and it goes with the rest of the theme of the deck. Lastly, shout out to Mr. Johnson Powell, aka Spanx TCG. I remember I went over to his house. He's like, dude, I got this really clean Euro Vayu, and it has this like little misprint ink blotch. Shout out to him, thank you so much. Spanx TCG Johnson in general has just been such a great friend to make in the game, and he's been such a great mentor to me in terms of like collecting and vintage and just all about Yu-Gi-Oh history in general. So shout out to him. Next up, Gore's Unlimited RP misprint. I impulse purchases at like 2 a.m. off eBay. It was before the hype prices went up, so I'm very grateful that I picked it up before that. Lastly, this is a NA Dark Arm Dragon. Why is it NA? I've had multiple opportunities to pick up Euro, and I always turn them down. The reason why is because this is Eric Shen's Dark Armed. I got from him, and whenever I need it for like a tournament run or anything like that, it always just ends up in my hand, and I know it's my day, so I will probably never change this card to a Euro version. I will always keep it NA. I still have the Venmo message that I sent him. It was at YCS Niagara, and I was looking for them, and everyone was charging like $600 for them, and he was nice enough because he was getting his Euro one. He gave it to me at a decent price. So huge shout out to Eric Shen, also a great mentor in the game. Please go sign up for his Patreon and support him. So that's it for the monsters. Spells, very simple. 2 Euro Whirlwinds. I got these from Johnson Spanx CCG as well. He was nice enough to just do a swap with me the day I got the other Euro cards from him. Shoutouts to Daehan again for finding me this Euro Brain Control. Shoutouts to Mr. Nelson Tam, aka Chaos TCG. When I first got back into the game, May of 2024, he helped source a lot of the deck for me. This is one of the cards that I've yet to upgrade to Euro, but again, it's one of the first cards I ever got when I got back into the game, so I don't know if I really want to switch it out. Huge shout out to him. He's been one of my great friends in Yu-Gi-Oh! For about like 15 years now, so yeah, really hard for me to like justify upgrading it. Next up is a very mild fade heavy storm. I also picked this up from Sphinx TCG. I was just looking for some faded cards, and he's like, bro, I got this if you want. I'm like, sure, no problem. So thank you to him. And then lastly, just a standard non-Suijin MST, but it's very clean. Emerald first. Okay, for the traps, very standard. These only come NA to my knowledge. Very, very clean Icarus attacks. I think these are actually near mint. There's no like flaws, scratches, dents, edge wear on them at all. Next up, I recently picked these up. I really like the Prismatic Secrets from Japan, so I've been playing these for about a week now. I do have the NA copies in my binder, but I've just been playing these recently. Obviously, these are not TCG legal, so if I ever do go to a tournament, I do swap them out for the other ones. 2 NAD prisons. I've gone through a lot of D prisons. I get them from multiple people. I really like this card. Yeah, not much to say about it. It's just a standard super. Next up, these CP bottomless sharples also have a little backstory. I was looking for these at Nats 2024. Back when everyone was just hoarding bottomlesses, it was really hard to find. It's probably the second or third time I ever hung out with Sphinx TCG or Johnson, and he had connections out the wazoo, and one of them happened to have 2 very, very, very clean copies of bottomless sharple that I picked up at the event. Shoutouts to Min and Johnson for these. Just one standard Dust Tornado, 1 CP Dust Shoot. It's NA. I know there's a Euro one, but very, very small differences. Lastly, I saved the goodies for last. I have a very questionable fade. I don't think it's a that faded or faded at all, but it could be just a print error difference or print color difference. But just a very unique torrential compared to the rest. Just for side-by-side comparison. I think I picked this up from eBay. Yeah, no historical story there. Next up, I have a pretty heavy faded Mirror Force. Shout out to Daehan again for this one. If everyone knows, he's the one who posted up the 35k max rarity Blackwing deck. This is that Mirror Force. I picked up some of the heavy hitters from his deck when he decided to part out. So part of him is in this deck, so I'm very grateful to have these cards in there. Next up, we have the 7 tools from his deck profile as well. And lastly, I think this is like the piece de resistance, the Solemn Judgment. It's a max fade, very, very clean. I'd say VLP, near mint, Solemn, max fade. Very, very beautiful card. That's it from the main deck. Onto the extra deck. For those that don't know, I'm a huge Sonic fan. So when they did the crossover with Magic, I picked up all of these. I usually just have these as tokens or flex cards, whatever you want to be, but I picked up all 7 emeralds and finally the Super Sonic. Also have an official Gorge token here. This is from the Japanese token set. And then getting to the actual extra deck cards, I have just a standard Jump, Chimera, Fortress Dragon, 1 Euro Isle of Justice Catastor Ultimate, Magical Android first, Dual Terminal Brio, NA Goyo. I've had this Goyo for a long time. I don't think I'll probably ever get rid of it just because of how old it is to me. So I'm still looking for a Euro one, but those are one of the cards that I mentioned earlier where I'm not really going out of my way to like find it. If the opportunity comes up, I'll probably do it. Next up, this is from Daehan or Air Choi's deck. I picked up his 2 AE arm wings. These are actually very, very nice in terms of coloring. The Euro ones are darker, but there's like a certain like hue to this one that the standard NAs don't have, also along with the Euros. So it's kind of like the Siroccos where they like have it's a little bit lighter in terms of color. So I like them. Also extremely hard to find any of the synchros from RGBT for Asian English. Next up, this card is super historical to me. It's a gray rose, black rose. This came from my friend Brian. He quit the game shortly after I came back into it. We had a deal that when he got the card, I told him like, hey, the day that you do end up parting with it, please let me know. I'd love to pick it up and just keep it. So if you ever come back and if you want it, I'll give it back to you. And so unfortunately, I think I jinxed it. He ended up exiting the game, and so I do have this. This is his. I don't think I'll ever part with it. It'll always be a part of permanent collection. So thank you, Brian, for this. Next up, an AE Ulti Armor Master. This is also a very, very, very hard card to find. This was a PSA 8 that I cracked. It was a Pop 2. But you gotta play it. Like everything else, yeah, I just had to crack it and play it. Next up, Ulti Euro First Ed, Thought Ruler Archfiend. I got this from Brandon Reiger in a trade. Shout out to him. He got my misprint Thought Ruler. I think Glossip or Edison.Yu-Gi-Oh now has it. So if you ever want to see how shifted it was and misprinted it was, check out his Instagram. This is also from Brian. When he left, he did a swap with me for his Ulti Colossal Fighter, or his Euro Ulti Colossal Fighter for my NA. Huge shout out to Spanx TCG again. He gave me the Surge Dragon out of his personal deck because I was asking for it for my birthday. He didn't give me the card, but he gave me the opportunity to purchase it from him for my birthday. So this is his. This is also another card that I probably will never sell or part with. Silverwind came from Chaos TCG. He helped me source, as I mentioned, a lot of the cards when I came back to the game. This was probably one of the first max ready cards that I did pick up, along with others like the Icaruses and stuff. All came from him. And then we have Dual Terminal Mistworm. I think I got this from Eric Chai when I first met him at Niagara. He wanted an Ultra First MST, so we did some sort of trade there, where I ended up with this Mistworm. And then lastly, huge shout out to Spanx CG for this one. This was a PSA 9 Dark End Dragon that he helped me source through weeks and weeks of talking with his different connections to finally make happen. So thank you so much, Johnson, for this. I know I always tell you thank you, but I can't say it enough, especially for this card. Yeah, truly, truly awesome to own one of these. So that's majority of like the maxed out version of the deck. In terms of side deck, I really don't care to max it out. Side deck always changes, so there's like really no point, in my opinion, to do it. But I'll just go over a couple cards that I just happen to have. I play one Euro Cyber Dragon. Johnson got a pair of them for me for my birthday as a surprise. So thank you, Johnson, for these. A Euro First Ed Fossil Dyna. Daehan swapped me for an NA one when he left. So he did a lot of swaps with different people in our group chat. So, I mean, he's just a great guy overall for doing that. He left a lot of the cards in the family, so I think he's awesome for that. Next up, just a NA Ulti Crow. Normal Card Trooper First Ed. I'm not sure how much effort I want to put into finding the Malicious Misprint one. It's also in Spanish, I believe. Or Italian, I forget which language. Yeah. Super First Ed, Noble Enough Crossout, CP Book of Moon, LOB First Fissure, Euro Mind Control, Standard Dust Tornado, 2 NA Ulti First Pulling the Rugs, an EU Dark Illusion that Daehan gave to, I think, each of us in the group chat. So me, Eric, Chai, and Harrison Jong. We all, he got a bunch of like Euro cards that he helped source, and he just gave it to us as gifts. So thank you, Eric, for that, or Daehan for that. Second to last, Royal Oppressions, DT. I do like the rare ones, but Cal or Nelson gave me these copies because he wanted me to have a matching set of DT. So thank you, Cal, for that. He rarely gives out cards for free, so I appreciate the gesture. And then lastly, a really, really heavy fade, 7 Tools of the Bandit. I picked this up when we were talking about 7 Tools in the group chat. Guy had it on eBay for like $700 or best offer. I offered him like $150. He took it before, I guess, the quote-unquote hype happened. So got this. Eventually it made its way to Daehan's deck just to fully max out his deck. So eventually came back to me. So I'm happy to have both of them with me now. And that pretty much concludes the deck. If I miss anyone in terms of shoutouts, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure I got everyone that helped make this deck happen. I will also post pictures and stuff on my Instagram at MOVA MOVA94TCG, just to get like a nice overview of the whole deck. Thanks for watching. Peace.